2025 may go down in history as the year when the unthinkable happened to the U.S. economy. We're not talking about just any crisis, a stock market fluctuation, or a sector-specific bubble. We're talking about a structural, silent, and progressive collapse, which is already underway, but most people haven't realized it yet. And do you know who will feel the impact before everyone else? Entrepreneurs. Yes, the owners of small and medium businesses, the ones who sustain the country, the ones fighting every day to keep a team, sell, pay bills, and still grow. If you're one of them, or want to become one, what I'm about to show you here could literally save your business. So go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel now, because we're going straight to the point, with truth, clarity, and a real action plan to protect yourself while there's still time. The signs are all out there, like blinking road signs, but most people are still distracted by their phones, artificial growth promises, and motivational posts that ignore reality. Inflation has become a concern again. Interest rates are at their highest levels in decades. Consumer spending is slowing down, big companies are making silent layoffs, and American household debt has reached alarming levels. Just in credit card debt, Americans already owe over $1 trillion. That is unsustainable. And like in every crisis, what starts at the top trickles down until it hits the bottom. And guess who the bottom is? Everyday entrepreneurs. People like you and me, who can't afford to make mistakes. What makes this crisis even more dangerous is that it's being masked. The government is printing money to maintain the illusion of stability. But everything that is artificially sustained eventually collapses. It's like a dam full of cracks. It might look solid, until a leak becomes a rupture. And in this case, there's no alarm to warn you. By the time you realize it, your business will already be drowning in debt, out of cash flow, and with no customer willing to buy. That's why, if what you're hearing so far makes sense, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Here, we deliver real, direct content, no fluff, every single week. We're entering a blind spot in the American economy. The overdependence on automated systems and artificial intelligence in business. It once looked like a promising future, but now it's revealing itself as a silent risk. Large and small companies are replacing people with software, platforms, and automations that, while efficient, are exposed to systemic failures and massive cyberattacks. Imagine a scenario where a single digital blackout halts entire supply chains, suspends payments, locks servers, and wipes out strategic data. Now realize that this has already happened on a small scale, and the media kept it quiet to avoid panic. The U.S. business infrastructure is digitally fragile, and many entrepreneurs don't have backups, contingency plans, or even the capacity to run offline for a single day. In the middle of a collapse, technology can be either your lifeboat or the iceberg. If you're building a business that's 100% dependent on systems you don't control, it's time to think twice. And if this warning made you reflect, leave a like and subscribe now, because the next chapters go even deeper. Nearly 45 million Americans are in student loan debt, totaling more than $1.6 trillion. That alone would be concerning, but in 2025, a large portion of those debts is entering full repayment after temporary pauses and relief. What the market isn't ready to admit is the impact of this return on household finances. Entrepreneurs selling to young adults, like in e-commerce, services, and digital products, will feel the hit. The purchasing power of this generation is about to evaporate. Less spending, fewer repeat customers, slower turnover. That directly affects small businesses. You need to understand, the collapse won't just come from Wall Street. It will start in the family refrigerator, in overdue tuition bills, in declined credit cards. If your business relies on emotional and impulsive consumption from this indebted generation, start thinking now about how to reposition your offer. And if this lit a red light for you, comment below, "I'm waking up." That tells me this message is hitting home. What few are noticing is that the U.S. is experiencing growing internal tension between states and the federal government. Governors from major states like California, Texas, and Florida have been making independent economic decisions, trying to protect their local economies from national collapse. Own tax incentives, state digital currencies, autonomous cuts to federal programs. This is fragmenting the country's financial unity. For entrepreneurs, this means increased complexity in scaling, different laws between states, and a more unstable business environment. Imagine opening a branch in Texas and discovering the rules there have completely changed compared to what you know. That's reality in 2025. And anyone who doesn't understand the new economic geography of the US will stumble on shaky ground. So subscribe to the channel now to keep receiving this kind of analysis that doesn't show up in traditional news. With rising interest rates and the cost of living exploding, many Americans are leaving formal jobs and turning to informal work or alternatives like freelancing, TikTok, OnlyFans, and delivery apps. This is creating a silent shortage of qualified labor. Companies that depend on specialized professionals are struggling to hire and retain talent. The result? Slower production, more operational errors, loss of quality and trust. If your business requires a team, know that 2025 will be the hardest year to build one. Team loyalty must become a priority. Strong culture, clear purpose, profit sharing. It's no longer a luxury, it's survival. And if you want practical content on how to strengthen your team even in a crisis, comment, make a video about team, and I'll bring that in future episodes. With rising geopolitical tension, especially involving China, Russia, and the Middle East, global supply chains are being redesigned. Transport costs have gone up, timelines are unpredictable, and dependence on foreign supplies has become a bottleneck. What does that have to do with you, a small entrepreneur? Everything. Because if the supplier delays, the customer cancels. If the product doesn't arrive, the money stops. Businesses that don't internalize parts of their supply chain or have alternate suppliers will get stuck. The practical tip here is, review your supply chain today. Form local partnerships, develop a plan B, keep minimum stock, and create contingency models. Whoever waits for the crisis to knock on the door before acting has already lost the game. And if you haven't liked this video yet, now's the time. That helps the algorithm and shows this content needs to reach more people. One of the most ignored, yet devastating crises in 2025 is the technical bankruptcy of many public and private pension funds in the U.S. Millions of workers over 50 are discovering that what they saved all their lives simply isn't there. This is causing a silent wave of forced returns to the workforce, even among professionals who are physically and emotionally drained. For entrepreneurs, this means two major impacts. First, a new consumer profile, frustrated and fearful, who will cling to every dollar like it's their last. Second, a labor market flooded with experienced, but desperate professionals who can either save your business, or become a liability if not well integrated into your model. Retirement has become an illusion. And realizing that now can help you build high-performance intergenerational teams, or at the very least, teach you how to communicate safety to this new anxious customer. If this chapter surprised you, comment, Chapter 6 shocked me, so I know who's really absorbing it all. If there's a crisis more dangerous than the economic one, it's the crisis of trust. And 2025 is being marked by the accelerated breakdown of the average citizen's faith in American institutions. Media, government, banks, universities. This erosion of credibility is directly affecting businesses. Entrepreneurs who don't understand this keep trying to sell based on authority, titles, and status. But the 2025 customer wants truth, transparency, and humanity. They want a face, not a logo. A story, not a resume. Businesses that ignore this mindset shift will seem cold, distant, and manipulative. Your marketing must be built on genuine trust. And that only comes with consistency, vulnerability, and real value. The question you need to answer is your business trustworthy, or does it just look like it is? If this topic interests you, subscribe to the channel because I'll make a full video just on this. Did you know that the cost of food in the US has gone up by more than 30% in some regions over the past 2 years? And in 2025, this increase has worsened due to historic droughts, off-season storms, and imported fertilizer shortages. This has a direct impact on the entire food chain, from supermarkets to local restaurants. If you're an entrepreneur in food, hospitality, or perishable goods, you need to understand, the old pricing model is dead. Tight margins now mean guaranteed losses. The secret lies in logistical efficiency, direct partnerships with producers, and a lean, streamlined operation. Yes, customers will keep eating, of course. But they'll choose based on perceived value and consistency. Luxury is being replaced by trust. And if you're in farming, food service, or distribution, comment below, make a video about food, and we'll create a full series on this. In recent years, Fintechs have dominated the market with promises of fast credit, no bureaucracy, and minimal requirements. Thousands of entrepreneurs jumped on this wave, but now, in 2025, they are facing the side effects. Hidden fees, abusive clauses, algorithms that automatically downgrade credit scores, and account freezes without warning. The truth is, many of these companies were not prepared for mass defaults. And now they are retaliating, cutting credit aggressively. If your business depends on working capital from fintechs, you urgently need to build an independence plan. Your own cash flow, alternative consortiums, partnerships with local angel investors. Because those who build their empire with other people's money unknowingly give up control. Did you like this provocation? Leave a like and share this video with an entrepreneur friend. He might be about to fall into this trap. Have you ever wondered how much of your information, as an entrepreneur, is exposed on the internet? In 2025, with the integration of ad platforms, sales, banks, and social networks, the big players know more about your business than you do. This is creating a new form of competition, the abusive use of data to copy you, get ahead of you, or sabotage you. Small businesses are being taken down by geolocation strategies, campaign spying, and predatory paid traffic auctions. The solution: intelligence. There's no point in avoiding digital. But it is essential to protect your campaigns, test outside the radar, and build your own audiences that don't depend solely on algorithms. Privacy has become an asset. Those who don't protect it hand over their competitive advantage on a silver platter. Want more videos on this topic? Comment, make a video about data, and I'll dive deeper into this chapter with practical strategies. More than ever, in 2025 we are seeing entrepreneurs imploding internally. Burnout, anxiety, depression, addiction to digital dopamine, constant comparisons with competitors, and a lack of real support. And the truth is that no business survives with an emotionally sick owner. You might have cash flow, a product, a team, but if your mind collapses, everything falls apart. That's why mental health is no longer a luxury, it's a management tool. Self-care, rest routines, emotional mentoring, therapy, all of this is now part of the agenda for those who want to last in the game. The question is, are you treating yourself as your company's greatest asset, or as an exhausted employee with no right to rest? While most are trying to survive, a new silent group is forming behind the scenes of the crisis. Discreet, strategic, and prepared entrepreneurs who are buying cheap assets, building collaboration networks, attracting talent, and growing with consistency. They don't appear in ads, they don't flaunt, and they don't go viral. But they are paving the way for the businesses that will dominate the market over the next 10 years. Their difference from the rest? Emotional preparedness, financial knowledge, market reading, and action before the majority. They know that every crisis is a redistribution of power. And they are positioned to inherit what the unprepared will leave behind. The question is, will you be one of those who loses everything or one who starts building now, in silence? If you want to be part of this silent elite, subscribe to the channel because this content is made for that group. The next era has already begun. And your place in it depends on what you do, today. A lot of people think crises happen all at once. Like an accident. But the truth is that crises accumulate. They are the consequence of poor choices made over years. And today, entrepreneurs are facing the effects of 2 years of cheap money, artificial consumption, and false growth metrics. Many people confused revenue with profit, buzz with stability. And now that the game has changed, they're stuck in inflated structures, with large teams, high fixed costs, and a much more cautious market. This is happening now, in real time. It's not a prediction, it's a warning. And that's exactly why you need to watch this video until the end. Imagine your business as a house of cards. You keep stacking one card over another. More product, more employees, more tools, more marketing. But the foundation is unstable. You have no cash flow, no savings, no plan B. And when the first wind comes, a client who delays payment, a supplier who raises prices, a bank that denies credit, everything collapses. And you know what's worse? Many entrepreneurs will break inside before they break on the outside. They will panic, make bad decisions, try to solve things with more ads, more debt, more desperation. This isn't just a financial crisis. It's an emotional bankruptcy. And that's where the anti-fragile entrepreneur comes in. The one who prepares for chaos. The one who understands that a crisis is not the end, it's the filter. And to pass through this filter, you need three pillars: liquidity, adaptability, and real value. Let's start with the first, liquidity. If you don't have an emergency fund, you're vulnerable. And I'm not just talking about personal finances, but your company's. How many months can your company survive if revenue drops by half? You need to cut fat now. Reduce fixed costs. Cancel everything that isn't essential. Save cash like you're preparing for war. Because you are. The second pillar is adaptability. You need to be fast. If your business model depends on a single sales channel, a single customer profile, or a very tight margin, that's a risk. You have to be able to change quickly. Test new offers. Sell in a different way. Serve a different audience. The business world in 2025 will not reward the stubborn. It will reward the agile. And that takes humility to review processes and courage to change whatever is necessary. And the third pillar may be the most important: real value. In times of crisis, superficial things die. Essential things survive. Does your product solve a real problem? Does your service deliver tangible results? Is your brand remembered as trustworthy, necessary, human? Those who sell hype will be forgotten. Those who sell solutions will be sought after. And this is the moment to look inside your business with honesty. Don't wait for the market to force you to see it. Do it first now. If this content is opening your eyes, hit the like button now. It helps YouTube understand that this topic is important and deliver this video to more entrepreneurs like you. And more than that, comment below, "I'm getting ready." Just that. Because that simple phrase already puts you in motion. It already shows that you won't ignore the obvious. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll personally respond. Nassim Taleb wrote, "The wind extinguishes a candle but feeds a fire. And you want to be fire. Crave the challenge." That's the rawest and most liberating truth of this video. You're not here to hide from the storm. You're here to learn to dance in the middle of it. The greatest fortunes in history were built during times of crisis. And not by luck, but by preparation. By vision. By action. So reflect, do you want to be extinguished or fueled by this crisis? What you do in the next few weeks will define the next years of your life. Strengthen your foundation, look at your finances clearly, adjust what needs to be adjusted, and be ready to seize the opportunities that only those who survive the storm can see. And of course, if you want to keep receiving this kind of content that doesn't sugarcoat or mislead, but shows you the path with empathy and firmness, subscribe to the channel now. Because in the next videos I'll show you deeper strategies to protect and scale your business in 2025, based on what the big players are doing behind the scenes. See you in the next video. Until then, take care of your business, take care of your mind, and get ready. Because the game is about to change. And only those who are ready will get to play.